Hey everyone, welcome to the event. I appreciate you coming today. And my name is David Velitas. I'm owner of the Costa Rica Wellness Institute. And we've had a great Christmas season, holiday seasons in full swing down here. Really looking forward to New Year's in a couple of days, resetting everything in 2021. I really hope that the best will be coming your way and sending blessings to you and your family and friends and coworkers. Um, right now, I just want to get started by setting, some of the, I don't know, just the parameters, the tone for how this conversation is going to go about accessing our flow state energy, this tantric energy that is natural to all of us. It is a super exciting conversation, and I'm really looking forward to sharing this material with you in a few moments. First of all, just get comfortable. Please be in a spot where you can sit and be in good posture, have some alignment with your body, so that you can get the most value of what we're going to be talking about today. And secondarily, please turn off any other devices that you have so you don't have any interruptions and you can really be here present to really engage with this content. Thank you for that. So now I would also just like to say we could start this by just closing your eyes, if you would. And I want to bring a visualization to your mind. Think of your heart. I want you to feel your heart. I want you to see a beautiful, healthy, red heart. And I want you to visualize this beautiful, white, golden light surrounding your heart, protecting it in warmth, the glow of that beautiful, golden, white light all around, encasing your heart. Anywhere that you might have stress or anywhere that you might have some pains or some little things in your life or even big things in your life that are causing you pain and hurting your heart, let this golden white light enter and fortify and heal your heart. Truly a beautiful image, and I hope that you get some value and some love out of this. That's what it's intended to do, is to help you heal your heart. It's really the source for our soul to receive the messages back and forth. I'm going to talk more about that here in a little bit. And the last thing really is part of the welcoming is I want you to take a deep breath in all the way up to the top, to your crown chakra, and then all the way, exhale it all the way down to the bottom, to the base floor. And we're going to do that 4 on the inhale and 8 on the exhale. So 4 on the inhale and 8 on the exhale. Okay, so we're going to begin. And when we inhale, we're going to be inhaling love. So let's go. Inhale. You pause at the top and exhale, stress. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pause on the bottom. Inhale, 4. All the way to the top. Pause. Exhale, 8. All the way to the bottom. One more time. Inhale. All the way to the top. Pause. Exhale. All the way to the bottom. Okay, so good. Now, the more you practice these little things, the visualization, healing your heart with light, your breath, meditation, whatever your practices are for your wellness and well-being and health, they do make a big difference. So again, welcome. And really, I'm going to now go on over and do some screen sharing. And that way, we can dive right into the materials and get on with tapping into your tantric energy. And here we are, creating sustainable solutions together. Again, welcome and thank you for being with me. I'm the owner of the Costa Rica Wellness Institute, David Velitas, and I really appreciate you taking your time to be here today. This is all about tapping into your tantric energy, learning how to access your flow state. This message, this energy is being sent to us all the time. We're just missing it. Why are we missing it? Why are we not getting these messages that are coming to us? What's happening? Why is that occurring in our lives? Why are we just operating as if it's business as usual without the help that we get from tapping into our pure energetic state, our flow state energy, this tantric energy that's available to all of us? We are part of it. So here it is. You think you're smart, right? I mean, I certainly do. Here's the problem. So there's this problem solution cycle. You're not, no, really, you're not smart. I'm not smart. Now, this can be offensive to some people. You know, there's a couple of ways you can take it. You could be offended, or you could think, wow, that's curious. What does he really mean? So really, taking offense is a trigger, and it's something that doesn't serve us. What I really meant is, you're brilliant. We all are. We are amazing creatures, and we are totally underutilizing our capabilities, and just in a huge way, not just a little bit. We are barely tapping into what's available to us in the universe and the energy from all of our senses. Now, so why is it that we're not tapping into this natural energy? Why are we not finding our genius and our gifts? Why are we not using them? There's so many distractions, right, in the world. Always on our devices or the phone, or having to rush to be on time, getting to work, responsibilities with the family and children and carpooling. I mean, all these things are real, right? And they create some stress in our lives. We start having some anxiety, and we do things to try and help ourselves and mitigate what's happening, but those are only partial solutions. Maybe we don't have a fully integrated approach. And then there's cognitive dissonance. All this stuff that we've been taught and we've learned and we think is true, which actually is not accurate. Maybe it never was, or maybe it was and it's changed and it's not appropriate or suiting or fitting anymore. Very, very common for that to happen. So when you heal your energy, you heal your life. It's really kind of how the whole package comes together. It's how we really do tap into this energy. And it's about building that foundation. And when we start this, it changes everything. We can tap into our senses and our heightened awareness, right? It really is priceless. So what is your flow state energy? I love to give the examples using some sports examples, because I am an athlete. I love using art examples because I've enjoyed painting in my life. So I want to just give you a couple of those. When you always hear about people in football or surfing or tennis being in the zone. So let's take tennis, for instance. So when someone is playing at the highest level of the sport, they're not thinking about their last shot. They're not thinking about what their feelings are, or who said what to whom, or that last encounter with the umpire. They're thinking about what's the next best shot, getting to the ball and that next best shot. That's when people are in the zone, is they're just in action. They are in a state of fluidity. They have a very strong constitution and a base, and they practice consistently. This gives people access to the messages and the intuitive energy that's always flowing to us. So in large part, it really is about practice and having a super strong foundation. Like another thing would be playing music or painting. How many times have you been doing that and enjoying your art, and you think you've been there a half an hour and several hours have passed. It's truly incredible. The same applies for lovemaking, um, surfing, tube riding. Time slows down. And there is nothing slow about the energy of the ocean and barreling waves. But there's something about being in the zone and dancing with that energy. You become part of it. So this is what we really want to tap into. And this is really what this course is about. So a possible answer is unanswer for what is your flow state energy is this. So it's your natural elevated state of energy when you are present and participating in a fully integrated way with all your senses. It is a focus-driven opportunity to tap into it. Pretty powerful. So how do we connect with that energy more consistently? Before I get into the meat of this, I just want to say a little bit more about myself and why I'm doing this. So again, I'm David Velitas. I'm the owner of the Costa Rica Wellness Institute, and we do some transformational work, mainly about relationship coaching and lifestyle transitioning to create a work-life balance that you truly love. We're all about eliminating stress from people's lives. And I really began this work because I had to do it for myself. I had become out of alignment with my career path. Now, I'm a scientist over 37 years. I'm a geologist. I have a minor in petroleum engineering, and I was working in the energy sector. And in the beginning, I was super passionate about finding oil and gas and exploration and projects like that. It was very exciting. The money was great. It was creative. I was engaged. I was excited about finding energy for the country. It was a very admirable thing when I started it. But the longer I stayed in it, the more it changed and the more apparent it became to me that hydrocarbons and the energy sector and the pollution and the plastics, they were part of the problem. They weren't part of the solution that I was excited about when I first began this over 37 years ago. So when I started having this mindset problem with my career and what I was doing in the world, the contribution I was making that, and how it had shifted, I was out of alignment and I started putting on weight. I wasn't enjoying my job and my work anymore, even though I was making good money. You know, I was not sleeping well. I was driving too much. I couldn't turn off my mind. There was always this conversation of like, this really isn't right. It's kind of risky and dangerous and it's polluting. And I started to have chest pains. And the stress had just been building over the years. And I finally, fortunately, I had been a consultant also. About 10 years into my career, I became a coach and a consultant. So that was like 27 years ago. So I had this toolbox to have me have the awareness around these problems that were, causing stress in my life. And I devised a plan to let myself out of it. And I moved to Costa Rica because after having been there on vacation once, I was in love with the country and I knew I was going to live there. I traveled back 5 times in 18 months and I picked the place that I'm currently living at today. I've been here over 17 years now and it's truly been life-changing for me. I totally redesigned my life. I made my well-being, health, and wellness the priority. And I gave myself permission to pursue my passion, which is surfing. So I wanted to be living in a place like this, where there were nice people, it was a clean, beautiful, tropical country, and they had great surfing. So I get to go to the beach every day, I get to honor my passion, and I get to help people across the gap, this, and what I've termed the suffering index gap from where they were to where they really wanted to be, honoring their health and wellness and well-being. It truly is about giving yourself permission to do this. So I'm devoted to helping others cross this gap from where I was. A lot of my friends had heart attacks and some of them died. And I didn't get to that extreme of a case, right? I didn't have a heart attack, but I was having those contractions and those chest pains. And I alleviated and turned all of that around because of the work that I'm sharing with you today. So that's why it's so important for me. Who this is for is other people who are in transition, professionals in transition, high stress people, doctors, scientists, attorneys, investment bankers, um, anyone who is creative and who is a professional in transition. That's who this is for. If you're stressed out and you've been tolerating stuff that's not tolerable for too long, this work is for you. So what we're going to learn today are powerful tools to eliminate your stops and access your energy, right? So I'm going to cover as much as I can in the time we have together. And I promise you to show you how to take it further and get more before we end. So please enter any questions you might have in the chat. I'll answer them later. I'll open if you stay to the end for some question and answer. And I also have some other gifts I want to give to you for staying with me until the end. We're about 30 minutes away from wrapping up now. And so just let me get on a roll and give you as much value as I possibly can with our time together. So how to awaken your awareness to your tantric senses and energy. So we have these amazing senses that we were born with, and we need to heighten them. So that becomes how we access this tantric state, this meditative state. You know, we have this ability to touch, our feeling, our sight, our smell, our taste, our hearing. These are all gifts, and it's how we send and receive energy. We're part of it. These are our receptors. This is how we learn about our environment. It's how we understand and put meaning to everything we experience. So we heighten our experience when we heighten our senses. So that's why it's so important to build this foundation. And then once we do this, all these heightened and enhancing things that come into our life and receiving this energy just elevates our awareness to everything. We become super acutely aware, more so than we ever were before. So it's about intimacy, it's about connecting. We use meditation and breath work to continue to heighten all of these senses. So fully integrated solutions have fully integrated results. So body, mind, and soul solutions are fully integrated. Partial solutions that are just one piece of this body, mind, soul, or maybe even just one component in a domain of one of those, like exercise or diet. You know, it's good to have a trainer if you want to build muscle, but do you really need it? No. But can it help you? Yes. But that's an example of kind of a specialty partial solution. So this work is not about that. This is a fully integrated approach that truly is life-changing. So it's a full body, mind, and soul integration. You are an infinite soul. You have a finite body and a mind. It's not the other way around. So we don't have a soul and are a body in this mind. No, it's that you are an infinite soul and you have a finite body and mind. So in our hearts are the doorway to connecting with our soul and with the spirit. So starting with your finite body mind, right? This is our foundation. This is where we enhance our capabilities here. Everything opens up in our favor here when we take care of our bodies and our minds. So this is the vessel for our spirit, right? So when we enhance it, we can receive the messages from our spirit that are always being sent to us more clearly and more consistently. So there are 4 keys that are simple and duplicatable that are in this process. And I've turned it the ready to process. I created this work for myself after having had many, many coaches and worked with hundreds of coaches and consultants over my 37-year career. And I put this and arranged this work intentionally for my own benefit. And I'm loving having the opportunity to share it with you. So here are the 4 steps: rejuvenate, discover, design, and implement. And I want to go into rejuvenate first. So there are 5 components here, and it really is about proper nutrition, intuitive eating, consistent exercise and movement. You know, you want to be doing that 5 or 6 times a day, quality sleep, 7 to 8 hours a day. This is your peak regenerative time. Detox your life, okay? Food, chemicals, alcohol, drugs, cleaning products, environment, cosmetics, you know, your lotions, your toothpaste, relationships, are those toxic? There's ways to fix those, but some of them they're just not healthy to be around anymore. We have to assess that on an individual basis. And then it's all about these intentional energy practice tools. So this is the first thing that drops out. So this is why we have to enhance our energy, because when we build this foundation together, all these things enhance our vessel and our body-mind contact and communication so that we can then elevate everything else because we're receiving the messages from soul and from source. So I'm going to go into 2 of the energy distinctions today. That's it. There are many more in this part in the intentional energy practice toolbox. And we're really not going to go into any depth on the first 4. Let's jump into this first energy tool set. So this is called the suffering index gap, and it's called escaping the trap, practicing your cognitive agility, right? So this is how we nurture everything, all of our thoughts. And we have triggers. I gave you an example of one at the beginning about, are you smart? And I said, no, you're not, before I told you, no, you're underachieving and you're actually really brilliant. But I paused there because most people, when I said, no, you're not smart, that would be a trigger. People would be offended. Their hackles would go up and they would get defensive. But that's not what I meant at all. Yet that's a perfect example of a trigger. Something happens in life and someone says something happens. We experience, see, smell, taste, something triggers it in our senses. And we have this cognitive dissonance, this past belief system that we think is true and accurate, but it's actually not. We gave meaning to something a long time ago, and we think it's a core belief that's true, and we defend it, and we rationalize about it, and justify it, and we keep it in our lives, but it doesn't serve us. It's only causing us stress. It's a block, it's a stop. It's something that creates a triggered reaction, a dissatisfying cycle that we repeat over and over again, right? So crazy, but we can break the cycle. That's what the great news is. And that's what this diagram shows. And you can see there's a bridge, and it's about crossing the gap, the suffering index gap from your cognitive dissonance. This is where your fears, judgments, gossip, anxiety, depression, and stops live, all the triggers. It's the vicious circle, closed-minded, defensive. It's all the things that aren't serving us, that are stopping us from achieving our dreams. So how we recognize these, so I like to give the example that a trigger is an example, is just to visualize a spoonful of dirt and putting it in a glass of water. Well, that's muddy water. We're not going to drink that water. We're going to pour that water out into the stream and we'll release it, we'll let it go. And then we take the glass and we pause and we go upstream and we get a clean, cool, crystal clear glass of water to then drink. That's the response from this decognitive dissonance. It's where our optimal gifts are, our creativity. It's where we go to model other possible scenarios, outcomes that elevate out of our cognitive dissonance state. So when we get real clear that we are only modeling solutions, we realize these problems in our cognitive dissonance in the black or white, good or bad, right or wrong, Republican, Democrat world. That's not really true. It's just one small perspective, one possible way of being. The world is multidimensional, and we can model an infinite amount of solutions and different opportunities, right? So there's no problem. There's only opportunity for creating a solution that forwards whatever it is we're committed to building and creating. So how fast can you do it becomes the game. How long does it take you to go from a state of cognitive dissonance to a state of decognitive dissonance and a creative solution? How fast can you stop your suffering? How fast do you go from suffering to greatness? We really do get to choose. And the more we practice this, the faster everything changes in our favor. So I want to go to the next slide. And it's called tapping into your tantric flow state energy. Um, Energy has a frequency, and you can see here that shame, guilt, grief, and fear, we live in a fear-driven world. All you got to do is turn on the TV, right? In these crazy corona times, and how horrible it is to watch a presidential debate. It's kind of embarrassing, right? That's not the leadership that we would hope for. But nevertheless, it's the world we live in. The good news is we can elevate everything with this practice. So when you build your base with the consistent nutrition, the quality, proper nutrition, the consistent exercise, the quality sleep, the detoxification, and the elevation of your energy consciously, intuitively, passionately, in a very serious and focused way, we can live in this higher part of love, joy, peace, and light. We want to be compassionate. We want to be kind. That's the doorway to love, right? And it's these higher energy states of being that are achieved when we pause, when we're faced with the triggers of our cognitive dissonance from the previous slide. So anytime you're triggered, anytime you're in that black or white, right or wrong, good or bad world, don't react. Pause, acknowledge the trigger. We can go underneath and see the emotions and the fear and the feelings. And when we find a need for those emotions and feelings that hadn't been served yet, we can go to the specific incident and fulfill that need and get clear on what happened there. And that's how healing begins. That's one of the great tools that we can use to move forward and get out on the bridge, the pause, over into decognitive dissonance and start modeling a response that's creative, multiple responses until we find the one we're most aligned with, most in balance and in tune with. And then we can respond that way in a loving, kind, joyful, peaceful way, in a way that's win-win for everyone. So it's all about elevating your energy. This is a great image to learn from. So we're tapping into our natural tantric state, these higher energies of love, joy, peace, and light. So when we enhance our senses and we build our foundation and we intentionally use these energy tools, we can cross these gaps quickly. We can stop being reactionary and start responding in a very creative and imaginative way. So these are some great primary tools that are life-changing. That being said, I promised earlier I was going to take you further and get more value. So our time is quick. I want to show you how to proceed with more training and tools and support. So I want you to listen as I walk through it first. So these are the steps that you're going to need to take in the Ready To process to get the results that are ultimately attainable and that are possible for you. Whether you do it alone or you do it with me is, it's entirely up to you, right? Sometimes it's better to have a guide. I've certainly found that, having worked with hundreds of consultants and coaches in my 37-year career, it's truly given me the breakthroughs and the advantages that I have today in my life. So I'll tell you how you can do it with me later shortly. So discovery, this is after rejuvenation, which is what we've been talking about. So discovery of your optimal aptitudes, abilities, gifts, genius, and skill sets, right? Your zone, getting in that place where time goes away. It's really that God-given gift you were born with. We need to find that. Most people are not living their lives contributing this gift, and that's why they're in this dissatisfying cycle. They might be making good money, but ultimately they're unfulfilled and unsatisfied because they're not contributing their gifts. So your purpose-driven inspiration and passion, we got to find it. You got to give yourself permission to create a life with this as your focus. It's, a lot of people like to call it your reason for being. It's a Japanese phrase called ikagi, and it's one that we'll use later if you go on. So then the third piece is design. So after we've found and solidified our rejuvenation and our discovery protocols, we're going to create a practical plan that's in alignment with those protocols from your rejuvenation and your discovery, right? So it can be for you individually, your family, it can be a business plan. Whatever it is, that's what we're going to be creating together. So we'll put them in writing. We get real specific about this with goals and with timelines. You know, as you'll see, there's other things that are going to be important to make this happen and to make it real. So then the next part is implement. We're going to be implementing the practical plan with the required structure, accountability, and coaching to make it all happen, to make it real. This is where you must commit, have discipline, work towards some mastery, right? You want to start developing a higher skill set based on those protocols. And we do this with consistent practice. And then ultimately, it's about surrendering into it. It's really where we leave this body-mind part. It really is about the heart-soul. And so that kind of brings it first full circle. And then this grants us into the domain of communication with these universal knowledge and wisdom, this teaching from the ages. People call it the collective consciousness. It really becomes something that we get frequently. And when we're aligned and we've detoxified our lives, then we can act on it in a very meaningful and powerful way. So tapping into your natural tantric energy is being accountable and responsible for generating your results by developing your own skills and tools to support the ultimate outcome. All you have to do is to create these good habits and enjoy the ride, right? I mean, it's like the journey is the destination. So it is about embracing that and being present. So being in partnership together, we realize your needs and goals. Everything is the process. It is the journey. We're going to be enjoying it together. So seeing the destination before you begin is powerful. Being hesitant is the dissatisfying cycle continuing. So that's something we want to notice. That's a type of a trigger. Procrastination is a type of a trigger. Being hesitant, shying back, having confidence and proceeding with clarity is what comes to you when you build this foundation and are accessing your flow state natural tantric energy. Boldness and confidence while being accountable and responsible always wins. So what's possible is the realization of your dream, really. So it's really about living the life that you truly want to live. That thing that you never quite realized, or if you're super high functioning and you've achieved virtually everything you want, there's the next plateau for you. There's another gap for us always to cross. We are always lifelong learners iterating forward. And that's what's so beautiful about this work is we really do have tools to keep taking us to the next step, no matter where we are. We begin where we are and we get to what it is we envision and imagine and want to achieve. So when we work together, the collaboration creates new perspectives. There's some magic that happens inside the relationship that we never realized before. A lot of people refer to this as the third mind. So this is the situation which helps to create the breakthroughs, right? So we got this. Let's keep moving forward. So jumping off the edge responsibly. This is one of my books that I wrote as a #1 bestseller on Amazon. And I noticed early on, and actually I learned this from another coach of mine, they always like to work with people that weren't hesitant and shy and that were aligned with what it was that they were doing and teaching. They were excited to be using them as a guide. So I do the same thing. I've always extended decisive action discounts to my clients, and I want to do it today to you, with you. And so, because over half the people that take decisive action they are the ones that produce the results. So it's in your favor to be optimistic and to jump in when you see something that's a fit for you. If it's not, you can go it alone. But if you see that someone can help you get somewhere faster than you can do on your own, it's a huge opportunity to jump in and let them help you and guide you. So that being said, I have a 75% off my normal price of almost $2,000. So it's only $497 for my new online course, The Energy Healing Process. I created this course this last year because of the coronavirus. I was doing retreats in Costa Rica, my immersion week retreats, which have actually just started again because they opened the border about not quite 2 months ago now. But it's people are hesitant to travel, so really everyone who's canceled is still staying away. I fully expect normal travel to resume at some point in 2021 and for people to start coming to Immersion Week. But creating this online course is just a great way to start doing this work with me. And you don't have to travel. It's at a fraction of the cost. We get to do it online via Zoom. It's super fun and creative to use the technology and get together weekly doing this. So your ability to reduce your stress and anxiety is going to be one of the key components that comes out of working in this course. Minding your suffering index gap, getting from decognitive dissonance, the cognitive dissonant state, to decognitive dissonance quickly so that your triggers aren't having a huge impact in your life. You don't need to get over your fears. You can include them with confidence and go on and do it anyway. We'll diminish them and eliminate your fears with practice over time using the tools in this program. So learning how to tap into your natural flow state energy, your tantric energy. This is just a beautiful way to live your life. It enhances all your relationships. When your senses are heightened, your intuition is amazing. Your relationships and your love life, your satisfaction for business, and all the things that you enjoy doing are truly elevated. Everything just opens in your favor when you start practicing and using these tools. So giving yourself permission to discover, design, and implement the life you really want to live is huge. Please give yourself that advantage if you're ready and open to this. So if you are, it's super easy to get involved with me. But first, just a few details about the course. It's the energy healing process, and we meet 5 days in a row, Monday through Friday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll be on Zoom, kind of like this format with screen sharing and question and answer. You'll always get your questions answered every day. Once you register, you get a copy, an invite, and into this membership area where the course is. And each day you'll do the coursework for that night's Zoom call. And we roll like that. That's how we go in the course for a full week. You own the content to refer back to and use. And and at the end of the program, you get a free 1-hour conversation with me to complete, to see what's next for you, how else I can help you. Or maybe there was something that was super personal and you just weren't comfortable sharing it in the course. And now over our time together, you've become willing to talk about really what is facing you and the problem that you haven't been able to overcome. So I want you to know that I'm here for you, and you will have every opportunity to go as deep as you want to in whatever is the most important with you, so that we can break through this and you can really have the life that you deserve to live, the one that you really want and envision for yourself. You're going to get a free copy of my book. I can totally show you how to do that. Super easy. Actually, we're going to walk through it now. So this investment is really pretty minimal for what you're getting. And it pays for your increased energy, peace of mind, health, quality of life, and relationships, right? So what's the cost of not having those advantages in your life and going it alone? For continuing in dissatisfying cycles. It's not necessary. You don't have to go it alone. I'm here to help you and guide you. I certainly hope you can come and join me in this amazing new online course. So what's the cost of missing days doing what you really love? What is it? All that lost time and opportunity, right? It really is kind of hard to calculate, but it's big, and we can turn back the clock and move forward with what you really want without tolerating those things that have been hindering you. So no, I know we all have our stops and considerations and fears, and that's in large part what this work is about breaking through, right? So you've already learned how to do this. I've been teaching how to get past this when we were looking at the suffering index gap, and we were looking at the diagram of raising and elevating our energy. It truly is a practice. This is the way to access these materials. These are the keys for rejuvenation, discovery, design, and implementation for tapping into your natural energy state, this flow state, tantric energy, optimizing your senses, your ability to learn and then understand so that you can act and be in action about creating what you really want to do in your projects and in your life. So all we have to do is go to this link. Here's my website, Costa Rica Wellness Institute.com. Then click on the online course link in the menu bar to register. So I'm going to actually just go over there, and we can do it together. I'll just show you because it's super easy. And I'm going to do that just right now. All right. Okay, so here we are. And this is the website here. And all you have to do is go to the Costa Rica Wellness Institute.com, and you can click on online course right here. And it gives you some more information about what the course is, kind of what we've been talking about, and how you can rejuvenate and align your life. I have a short video that explains exactly what you get in the course. Here is the discount, 75% off. And all you have to do is click on one of these buttons and say that you want the course, and we'll just go right on over, and you can register like that. You just put in your credit card information, and once you do all of this, you'll receive an email, and it's going to give you your first module with the lessons for our meeting on Monday, and then we'll begin. So I love this work. I know it's life-changing. And when we do things that we love, we will love things that we do. It truly is like that. And so I want to leave you with that I know it's not easy, and I'm here for you. It's a privilege for me to have been here, and thank you for being here today.